Hi guys, welcome back to my XVS guide. Now I'm gonna review Radiant Lightning, so I must say I'm not that interested on her. Let's start from her stats. I must say that judging from her passive or stats, she is quite decent, especially when you fight against machine, especially for the Brave Shift form, because based on what I look on FFBE equip, she is the only mage who has 150% machine killer, so that's good for you if you need her to killing some machine using magic attack. But against physical attackers, I don't think she is any special because we have King Edgar, who is much better. She also has great lightning resist because her name is Lightning after all. And yes, to get the maximum boost, you get to equip sword and gun. Okay, that's not a problem for a normal form, but for Brave Shift form, where she becomes magic oriented attackers, you need to have certain type of equipment. But that's not what makes her bad. Okay, I can say that her stats is fine, but let's take a look on her abilities on normal form. So on normal form, she can chain with Bolting Strike, Absolute Mirror of Equity, and Aerial Ray. For Bolting Strike, you don't care about it because it is a magic based attack. Okay, so this is her Brave Shift move, but it becomes part of her normal form. I think the only reason you use this on normal form is to imperil enemy Thunder Resist. Other than that, no reason. Okay. On this form, you want to chain the Absolute Mirror of Equity, which deals 72 times damage. Again, 72 times. It is just your normal average damage modifier, okay, like Tifa or other early Neo Vision characters. So here we can see nothing special. In fact, I want to complain because this ability is locked to Thunder element. It is unnecessary because first, she able to imbue herself with lightning. Second, she is true dual wield character. So my question is why they do it on purpose by locking it into thunder element. Okay, I think this is more like nerf. Okay, and for Aerial Ray chain, it is nice, but for the damage, I can say it's kinda useless on real battle. Maybe this is only useful for dark vision, where you need to surpass 100 chain, okay, to get maximum score. And for breaks, they are not useful on today's standard because the breaks range between 60 to 70%, so maybe useful for farming event like this, like what happened at right now, but in the future you don't want to use her as a breaker. Okay, and she also has 100% limit burst damage buff. But if you take a look on the limit burst, I can say that it is kind of rubbish. It is not that bad, but 66 base damage, it is rubbish on today's standard, especially when you compare it to other Neo Vision characters. Okay, so the only useful thing you get from this limit burst is 120% lightning imperil, which you can get from your Bolting Strike chain. So don't even bother to use this because I can say that her Brave Shift limit burst is much better even when it is not the greatest limit burst. Okay, so let's take a look on Brave Shift form. On Brave Shift form, she becomes magical attacker. But again, why Bolting Strike chain? Okay, really guys, she is great. I must say she has 200% chain damage modifier cap when dual wielding. So yes, I can say she is a good mage, but the problem is this one. Why Bolting Strike? Bolting Strike is a physical character's chaining move. So having this and you cannot change the element is kind of handicapped. Okay, this make her really bad in unnecessary way. Okay. And sure, she also has quadcast. This is why I hate it, because like you know that most quadcaster are Chaos Wave Awakened chainers. Okay, so really Gumi, it feels like nerf. Okay, why they don't give her Chaos Wave Awakened chaining moves? Because if that's what they give her, she has some value. And no, she won't become OP, okay? It will make her more interesting, okay? It will make more players to pull for her. But instead, they choose to make it into bolting strike chain. It is really unnecessary nerf. And she also able to give herself 50% damage mitigation and 200% thunder resist. But I don't think this is really that important, especially when lots of Neovision can spam 75% damage mitigation. This one being 50% is not amazing at all. And for the grandest ability, it is Floating Strike Chain, just simply more damaging ability, but nothing special, okay? I can say that the only special thing about this Brave Shift form is maybe the Limit Burst, because you can chain it with Charlotte and Physalis and Savior of Soul Lightning. Okay, they belong to same chaining family, Protector's Bayonet. So if you chain this with your Charlotte and Physalis, you can get nice amount of damage, I guess. Okay, and yes, nice, not great. Okay, because like you can see the damage 402.5 times, definitely not a bad damage, but not great either. Okay, so that's all for the Brave Shift form. Now let's talk about equipment. So for equipment on normal form, you want to focus on her attack stats. Okay, because she is physical attacker, so you don't need to care about her limit burst. But on Brave Shift form, you want to focus on magic stats and of course limit burst damage if you plan to use her as chaining partner for your Charlotte and Physalis. Okay, I know Charlotte and Physalis able to chain by themselves, but if you able to combine both of them, they able to reach higher hit count, which make them deal faster higher damage. Okay, because they reach the 300% or 500% chain damage modifier cap faster. Okay, and for partner here, actually there are some characters who also able to deal elemental chain with thunder element with quad cast bolting strike. They are Ibarra and Grimlord Sakura. But again, the bolting strike chaining family are not their best move. Grimlord Sakura, her best move is Chaos Wave Awaken Chain. Same for Ibarra. So again, if you really force yourself, I think you kind of bottleneck those characters. So I think the only way to use Lightning is by partner her with Charlotte and Physalis, or use her on normal trial. Okay, because on trial you can bring your friend Radiant Lightning, so you can chain quad bolting strike chain. Okay, on Dark Vision you need to rely on limit burst, but that's not a bad thing because remember that she has full limit burst gauge on the first turn. So if you're able to fill Charlotte and Physalis limit burst 2 on the first turn, you can have nice chaining partner. Okay, and that's all for equipment and partner. My conclusion for Radiant Lightning, I can say that it is not Radiant at all. Okay, I can say she is kind of dull on Neo Vision form. Quad cast bolting strike chainer. Wow, Gumi, that's very rich. Okay, I really want to complain because why? Who gave the idea? Wow, let's give her bolting strike chain. She will become great. Lots of players gonna want to pull her. No, right? Why? They don't give her Chaos Wave Awaken Chair. Really, this really pissed me off, okay? Because they do it on purpose, okay? They do it to nerf her because, like you know, that her Trust Mastery word was one of the meta Trust Mastery word on the past, so lots of players gonna have her. And yes, because lots of players gonna have her, then we don't need to make her good. I believe that's what on their mind when they designed this Neo Vision form. Don't get me wrong, okay? She is not the worst Neo Vision, okay? She, like I said on the beginning, she is the only mage who have 150% machine magic killer. But my complaint is really, guys, is it really hard to make her into Chaos Wave Awaken Chain? What are you thinking? That's what I want to ask, okay? And her STMR, I can say it is also pretty decent. Yes, I know it is not the best. Some of the STMR sword can give you 50% limit burst damage and higher attack, but this is kinda jack of all trades. Okay, this give you 50% through dual wield. This give you 30% limit burst damage. But again, my complaint is none of this Trust Mastery Word and STMR gonna benefit her Brave Shift form. Okay, luckily her Brave Shift form Trust ability is kind of crap if I'm not mistaken, 100% faster ABV rate, so you don't need it that much. So you can equip any equipment, any sword or abilities you want. Okay, you don't need to worry about Trust ability on Brave Shift form. And another thing I don't like is she is locked to Thunder even on physical form. For the Brave Shift, I can understand because he is mage, but again, usually mage have like more than one element, 1 or 2 elements, so really, this really pissed me off, okay? So I think that's all you need to know about Radiant Lightning. I think if you don't have her, then you don't need to force yourself to get her, okay? But if you have her, nice, but definitely not a meta like King Edgar or Tifa, okay? Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Brave Exvius guide. Bye bye guys!